to people in a way that is then not helpful
Mhm.
because if you're not in a healthy and balanced nervous system say I don't like
Mhm.
saying nervous system, I just like
Yeah.
saying of our whole being, just like
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
essence of our being. If you're not in a healthy mind body spirit state of being, then the way you are communicating is going to reflect your internal state, and that's going to
Mhm.
cause messiness, and people aren't going to receive the
Yeah.
message as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's been countless times where I've literally done that, and I can
Mhm.
see where, oh man, I go back and look at some of the things that I've said or videos that I've made. I'm like, I did not communicate that well, and I know why I didn't communicate
Yeah.
that well because I was feeling a lot of messiness inside of me,
Mhm.
and it actually hinders our ability to communicate messages effectively.
Yeah, same. I look back at some of my old videos. I mentioned this in the talk, and, like, my face is, like, mangled, like, when I first started making videos because I was not in a good place. And was I right? Like, maybe, probably. Do I stand by the words of those videos? Yeah, but, like, I can see that I was suffering.
Mm.
And the sad thing too is that, like, people love that, which is a reflect not all people, but, like, there's a lot of people on the internet, they love that. Like, they love just the raging and, like, the because it, like, I think it validates them. And again, like, it's okay to be angry for sure, but, like, do you wanna stay there?
Mhm.
Because the system right now, like, it's not changing. I have hope that it is, and it's evolving, and, like, it's kind of inevitable. It's going to keep evolving, like, this decentralization, like, and people are going to keep waking up. I don't love that term, but, like, for lack of a better one, like, people will keep waking up. Perspectives are gonna keep changing. But, like, in the meantime, like, the government's not gonna be gone tomorrow. So I'll take care of myself on every level, like the material level, but the spiritual level and emotional level.
All right. It's funny you bring this up too because I've thought about this that you know how you said people love the rage inciting content, and I think it's because it's like that's meeting them where they're at
Mhm.
energetically too.
Yeah.
And who was I was talking, I think, with my friend Joel Rafidi about this, and he said something very similar. Where when I put out a post that is related to someone having to take 100% ownership for their own life and their own feelings and their own thoughts and emotions, that is calling them to do better,
Mhm.
I don't get as many likes, and I don't give a shit about
Right,
the likes, but it's
right.
a reflection, right?
Yeah,
Whereas if
exactly.
I'm doing something that is like pointing the finger at someone else and allowing someone
Exactly.
else to point the finger at someone else, I get
Mhm.
thousands of likes, and it's like, wow, that is really interesting
Yeah.
because it shows the level, the sort of collective level amongst the freedom community of where people are at
Mhm.
in their understanding of how much true self ownership is
Mhm.
required in order to truly turn the tide because it really does come down to a collective of individuals making individual
Mhm.
choices to become truly free.
Yeah, and it's scary. It's scary. Like, I spent most of my life, like, not even aware that I was afraid of feeling my feelings because I was so good at turning them away and numbing them out and, like, just, "Nope, that doesn't look like anything to me. I don't know what that is." Like, and just distraction, distraction, distraction. What's the government doing that I can be mad about? You know? And, like, not having to go inward, it's really, really scary.
Mm.
And a lot of people will, like, even just scoff at the idea that that's important. Like, I don't have feelings. Like, those liberals are so problematic because they're so emotional. Look at how emotional those liberals are. And, like, honestly, a lot of the people I see saying that are just as emotional about their own issues. But, like, it's also, like, to me, the problem is not emotions. That is a fundamental part of being human. The problem is, like, a lack of awareness about them and an inability to hold space for them because that's when they run rampant. That's
Mm.
when they take over and you're not pausing and you can't, like, what I was saying is, like, I learned I have to, like, I don't even really reply to comments anymore, but my practice was, like, type it out and then take a few breaths and then read it again. And inevitably, I would be like deleting a few words here and there and like, that doesn't need to be that sarcastic, Harry. Like, that's not necessary. And it's not helpful either.
Right.
Like, and my videos are still pretty sassy, but like over the years, I feel like I've gotten a lot more mindful of like, do I have to be that mean though? Like,
Yeah.
and like,
It
and it
has an
was
effect that is helpful to communicate a
right.
message,
Yeah.
and there must be a fine line in your
Yeah.
internal process. Like, yeah,